This is an example of a patient implanted with a single-lead ICD for Brugada syndrome. He had demonstrated multiple episodes of T-wave oversensing. As explained before, the main reason for T-wave oversensing was the presence of a low amplitude R wave. You can see here the measurements, 1.4 millivolts. It is really a low amplitude for R wave. In this case, the possibilities of reprogramming are limited. Indeed, there is no possibility in Medtronic devices to reprogram the upper threshold, the decay delay, or the filters. So what could be the solutions in this patient with T-wave oversensing? The first one would be to change the level of ventricular sensitivity from 0.3 to 0.6, for example. I don't think it will be a good solution in this patient given the low amplitude of the R wave. It would increase considerably the risk of undersensing during a real episode of ventricular fibrillation. In patients with very low amplitude R wave, there is a very interesting solution that is only available in Medtronic devices. You have the possibilities to change the sense ventricular polarity, so you can change it from bipolar to integrated bipolar with sensing from the tip to the coil. In some patients, not all of course, but in some patients you can expect an important change in the amplitude of the R wave, and this was the case for this patient. Remember, it was 1.4 millivolts with bipolar, and when we changed polarity to tip to coil, so integrated bipolar, we had an R wave amplitude of 6.4 millivolts. If you look now at the amplitude of the R wave on this graph, initially it was programmed with bipolar sensing, and you can see that you had values between 1 and 2 millivolts, and then an abrupt change once we have changed the sensing polarity from bipolar to integrated bipolar, and then we had much higher values between 6 and 8 millivolts. In this patient, after this change in the sense polarity, we did not observe any episode of T-wave oversensing. So to conclude, in Medtronic devices, and that is a specificity of the devices from this company, you have two possibilities. The first one is to change the polarity from bipolar to integrated bipolar. It may change the amplitude of the R wave, it may change the ratio between the amplitude of the R wave and the T wave, and it may suppress completely, like in this patient, the occurrence of T-wave oversensing. If despite the changes in the programming there are still some episodes of T-wave oversensing, this algorithm here, T-wave, has been designed to recognize the T-wave oversensing and then to resolve the therapy.